Alright, how's it going, buddy? Welcome back to the transfer news and rumors of the week. It's again been a very busy week in the transfer news or rumors department, as usual. And again, we have some big news pretty much. Obviously, not all of them are news per se, but of course, a lot of rumors. And I'd say let's get right into it. This time, I also have a currency calculator. Which means that I'm not only gonna tell you the market values and the, I don't know, buyout clause sums or whatever. I'm not only gonna tell you them in euro. As I read them, I'm gonna have them right here in my currency calculator. Oh my god. Also in British pound. So yeah, let's get right into the first news, which is that Bayern are interested in Yacine Brahimi from Porto, who obviously just came from Granada for 6.5 million euros, which is 4.7 million pounds, roughly. And he has a buyout clause of 50 million. Now that's obviously a shitload of money. Wait a second, what is 50 million in British pound? 36.37 million British pounds. So are they ready to spend that kind of money? I mean, this has been the first year for Yacine Brahimi at a bigger club, and Porto still is not a very big club, seeing as they play in the Portuguese league, and even there they can't win the title, it seems like. And he's still 25, he still has quite a few years left, so I think he's gonna stay at least one more year at Porto. So next up we have Isco from Real Madrid, and he had a pretty solid season, 6 goals, 14 assists in 51 games. But if Ancelotti stays, he is allowed to go apparently, which the Marca reported this week, obviously the biggest sports newspaper in Spain. So right now his market value is at 45 million euros, which is about 32.72 million pounds, obviously. And yeah, obviously, I say obviously a lot, don't I? At Real Madrid, there's loads of superstars, and I think James Rodriguez, Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric would be the starters as long as everybody's fit. So there's not much space for Isco, who obviously his market value is 45 million, and it is for a reason. It's because he's a great player. So a lot of Premier League clubs are interested in him, but also FC Barcelona, which is pretty interesting because they have pretty much just as many stars in midfield. Does Isco really fit there? Or does he want to take his talents to the Premier League? We'll see. Alright, so now let's talk about Mario Mandzukic, who obviously just moved from Bayern to Atletico this summer for 22 million euros or 60 million pounds. And apparently, even though he's had a pretty solid season, doesn't seem to work out for both. So the Croatian striker is now being linked with AS Monaco, and this report comes from Le Parisien, which is a French newspaper, obviously, that is usually quite well informed, or a quite reliable source, I should say, when it comes to those kind of news. And Mandzukic right now has a market value of 26 million euros, which is about 19 million pounds. And obviously, Monaco are looking for a replacement for Dimitar Berbatov, who's out of contract after the season, I should say. And yeah, he could be a good replacement since it doesn't work out for with Atletico. And I think they do want to get rid of Mario Mandzukic. They might get him at a cheaper price. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where Mario Mandzukic is gonna go in the summer. And now we have a player who you pretty much read about every day about potential transfers. Kevin De Bruyne, what a season he's had. I think he broke the assist record for the Bundesliga last Saturday, which is just insane. And yeah, we have several news on him, 3 in total. And the first one is that the Bruyne's agent said that Manchester City, Bayern Munich, and Paris Saint-Germain have contacted him, of course, because of the Bruyne, because they want to sign him. So that is pretty much confirmation that Manchester City, Bayern, and Paris really want to sign Kevin De Bruyne. And yeah, we also have a news where De Bruyne says that if you're a player, if you as a player say you're gonna stay, you're dumb. And that is a pretty hefty statement, I would say. He also said that he does not know what happens in the summer, and I think that's not the greatest things he's ever said, because, well, how do you want to interpret that? I mean, does he? It almost seems like he wants to move in the summer already, but I think Kevin De Bruyne is smart enough to stay one more year at Wolfsburg and develop even more. I mean, he's 23 years old, for crying out loud, and he still has a lot of years left. So I think if he stays one more year, it's gonna be the best. And also on Sunday, there's always a TV show on Sunday morning in Germany, which I usually watch, and I've actually watched it. And Klaus Allofs, the Wolfsburg manager, said that right now De Bruyne is not for sale, which is pretty interesting. He also said he's 100% sure that Kevin De Bruyne will play for Wolfsburg next season. And right now Kevin De Bruyne has a market value of 35 million euros, which is about 25.5 million pounds. And I think if he stays one more year, that market value is gonna rise even further, and some club would have to spend big money on him. So I guess it would be better for both sides, Kevin De Bruyne and Wolfsburg, if he stays one more year. And I really hope he does, especially because I love seeing this guy in the Bundesliga. One of the biggest rumors of this week surrounds this man right here, Mario Götze. And apparently Arsenal is ready to pay 41 million euros for his services, which is about almost 30 million pounds. And that would be some huge money spent. Gotze really hasn't enjoyed a great time at Bayern, not at all. And on Saturday, obviously they were in Freiburg. I was there. By the way, we've won against Bayern 2-1, which was pretty nice. And I took a closer look at Götze, and he just seemed unmotivated. Really, he really seemed like he's not enjoying himself at Bayern. Obviously, you can say he just doesn't care about the Bundesliga anymore because they won it already. But there were other players at Bayern, who in the Bayern team, who were showing a lot more effort, like Thomas Müller, who came on as a sub. And do you think Götze is on his way out? 41 million euros or 30 million pounds is a shitload of money for him. Right now his market value is actually at 50 million, so that would be actually a cut price if Arsenal would get him. 50 million euros is about 36 million pounds. So yeah, do you think Götze is on the move? I'm not sure if Bayern want to keep hold of him, and if they could get some really big cash for him, he might be going in the summer. You just can't do a transfer news episode without Man United, can you? Of course, Gareth Bale has been rumored or linked with Man United for quite a while now, but now also apparently Harry Kane is wanted by Man United, and apparently they're also ready to pay 55 million euros, which is about 40 million pounds. I think I've heard also about 35 million pounds, which is still a shitload of money for a player who has had one good year. Don't get me wrong, I love Harry Kane. Even though I'm not necessarily a Spurs fan and I don't like Spurs, but Harry Kane it's just a great story, isn't it? Just coming out of nowhere. But yeah, him going to Man United possibly together with Gareth Bale, and obviously Gareth Bale is already gonna cost a shit ton of money, so they're probably gonna have to sell some players, and One of them is probably going to be Robin van Persie, which I could see, because now 31 years old and not really having the greatest of seasons, really. And also his contract, he's out of contract in 2016, so they're going to try to sell Ruben van Persie, who surprisingly to me still has a market value of 25 million euros, which is about 18 million pounds. And also obviously Angel Di Maria, who is pretty much underperformed, I guess you could say. He's also been injured and really hasn't had a good year at Man United, and definitely wasn't worth the 75 million euros which Man United paid for him. And now apparently PSG are favorites to sign Angel Di Maria. Also Bayern are interested, but if he goes to PSG due to financial fair play, it could be that PSG would have to loan him out first, and then pretty much a loan, and then the option to buy him, basically. That was such a terrible explanation, but I guess you get what I mean. So now we move on to the last news of this week, which actually just came out like 1.5 hours ago as I'm recording this. And of course, Paulo Dibala has been linked with Juventus Turin for quite some time now. And of course, the 21-year-old is probably one of the most talented young strikers right now. And yesterday, Palermo played against Cagliari Calcio. They've won 1-0. However, Dibala has just been sitting on the bench for 90 minutes. Did not even get subbed in or anything. And when Palermo's coach or manager Giuseppe Iaicini, I hope I'm saying that right, was asked why he didn't let Dibala play, he said that Dibala is now a player of Juventus Turin, and this club, I think he means Palermo, is already working on the future. So he basically said that Dibala is 100% going to Juventus Turin. However, there's not been a official statement or an official press release or something like that Dibala is definitely going to Juventus Turin. There's just been a couple of reports what Juventus have to pay, something around 28 million euros, which is 20 million pounds. This seems about right, seeing as that is a bit more than his market value is, which sits at 23 million euros right now, which is 16.7 million pounds. And yeah, he's obviously going to be the Carlos Tevez replacement, either for the next season, as Tevez is linked to go back to Argentina to Boca Juniors, or maybe in 2 or 3 seasons time, who knows. But he could potentially be one of the best strikers in a couple years, and I think Turin have a great player there, and they strengthened their squad, which is already obviously a pretty decent one, seeing as they just got to the Champions League final. And yeah, I'm really excited to see Paulo Dybala at Juventus. Would have also liked to see him come to the Premier League, but I've always thought that Juventus would have the best chance at signing this youngster. But anyways, that's going to conclude the second episode of the transfer news and rumors of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.